Recently, I met a gentleman in the music season in Chennai. He's from Eastern Europe. And when he went back, he admired everything about India, but when he went back, when I looked at his Facebook, I saw absolute poverty-stricken photographs. He probably published about 30 of them. And he came to my house, he had lunch, he had dinner, he had discussions, and praised India. But when you go to the West, as you know, they still bring out the bad side, the evil side of India. That's one thing I have noticed, because there are mansions and mansions here, rich people are here. Not that I'm saying there is no poverty. There's poverty in Washington, D.C. also, because part of my time I spend in Washington, D.C. So what you have said, when they go back, the way that they promote things, in this particular case, photographs, in what you mentioned, is about Sanskriti and our Sanskrit, our language and all that. And one more thing I have noticed. The Christianity is slowly spreading in such a subtle way. If you want to be a Christian, sure, that's okay, but don't trick the people. Now they are constructing Dhvajastambhas, just like we have Hindu temples. So when you are converting somebody, you don't want to drastically say, become a Christian, otherwise you will go to hell. They're not doing that anymore. They're slowly, gently trying to make a Hindu who is obviously not established in his own Sanskriti or her own Sanskriti. If they were, they would not do that. But unfortunately, as he said, if we understand our Sanskriti and if we get established in our Sanskriti, I am sure nobody can invade us, nobody can interrupt us, nobody can interpret us in a wrong way. I just wanted to share the thought. From now on, maybe the questions are the ones that you would want. Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Sure. Those are very good points. The sad thing is, and I've studied this whole phenomenon of Christians wanting to make everything same, to create a bridge, making it easy for Hindus to go over to Christianity by putting Jesus as a lotus position. He's a yogi, and Mary is in a sari, and she's wearing bindi, and you do arti to Mary, and all the familiarities. So you don't make it unfamiliar to convert. You make it easy to convert. This is called inculturation, and this strategy was started in Latin America by the church, because they found that some people could be converted direct, abrupt, quick, and some they required to gently move over. It was a 2-generation process. Generation 1, they would tell them that your deity, your village deity, your ancestral deity is fine, we're not bothering. We also put Jesus and Mary along with your room, where your temple is. And so it is all harmony, we are all one and all that. And so they would bring Jesus and Mary, icons into the traditional temple. And then they would start a Christian convent school where they would say, well, I will teach our children. So they teach the children. They teach the children that those deities are actually false gods, but we should not disrespect our parents. So at home, you please respect them. But we are telling you who the truth is, what the truth is. Now so there's harmony in the family. The children kind of obey the family rituals also, but they're being indoctrinated that that is all actually false. We're just doing it out of decency. Yeah. And then when these children grow up, become important in their own, independent, then they are told that, that thing about your parents and all that dies with the parents only. It is all old stuff. It is all bogus. It is all bad, evil. And it's time to remove all those old idols. So now the Christianity becomes blatant. So this is called inculturation. It says, enter friendly, in a friendly way. Sam and Dan, don't do bhed and dand until later. First enter the home, become a good guest. Praise. Yeah, this is strategy. This is taught. There is so much. If you look at Christian's doctrine on inculturation, if you look that up, you'll find hundreds of papers, thousands of papers. This discussed in seminaries. It's taught. In Islam, this is called al-taqiyya. Al-Taqiyya means where you are not in power, then you should be very diplomatic, you should respect everything and keep quiet, low profile, like that. So these strategies come to traditions that have an export expansion history and experience. When you are a marketing company, your sales force develop a lot of good strategies because you know what works, what doesn't work, you keep improving. Yeah. If you are a company that doesn't market, you just wait for somebody to come and he has to come to you, you don't ever go out and expand, market, then you do not even know these strategies. So we have, since we are not an expansionist civilization, we don't even know what the strategies are being used on us because we never use them on others. But when you talk to a Muslim about this Christian strategy, it doesn't take him more than 2 seconds to figure out exactly what they're doing because he knows it. Similarly, when you talk to a Christian, this is what they will immediately tell you. Because the Abrahamic religions have done this to each other. And so they understand. We are only at the receiving side. Now the sad thing is, you expect our gurus, acharyas, our swamis to be like this, to understand it. I won't name, but we were together, Mohanji and I, at one of the prominent mathas yesterday, day before. And the head Swami of this temple is very impressed. He's want picture with me and this and that, put on Facebook. He's my friend, he knows me, my works, he introduces me to his son. You know, he's very supportive of me, he's very happy I've written these books, full of praise, taking us around everywhere. He's the head temple priest. And at the end, he says, we are so great because we have no problem, we can bring Jesus inside here, temple. We have no problem, sir. We can bring Mary, we can bring anything if you want, it doesn't affect us. I had no time to give him a lecture on how that inculturation is a foolish idea. You must have a very clear identity. Similarly, in Bangalore, we were with this, probably one of the most famous Hindu organizations of good lineage. And we were with a Swami who's in their National Board of Governors. And he is giving a very passionate, how we're losing Hinduism. How you go, wherever you go, these guys are gone. Our people don't know anything, they're ignorant. Nobody is teaching them Hinduism. And all of them are being taken over. And the spread of these other religions is so rapid. He's fiery, he's very fiery. And yet, and then I point out to him, I didn't tell him your organization. I just said, don't you think there's a responsibility in all this of those Hindu organizations that teach sameness of all religions? He was very quiet because his own organization teaches that. So we are mixed up. Our leaders are mixed up. Our leaders are very mixed up in the name of political correctness, a kind of a distorted idea of Vedanta. In the Paramarthika realm, everything being one doesn't mean that in the Vyavarika realm, you can't differentiate between dharma and adharma. You see, in the Vyavarika realm, in the Laukika realm, there is dharma, there is adharma. There is truth, there is false. There is avidya. There are different type of gunas. There is difference. If there were no difference, why would Krishna waste his time telling you about those guys that you have to fight? Our people are very good at citing the oneness of the Paramarthika and foolishly applying it as if it applies here. So this is such common sense that our people don't have. So I think we have problems, and we have to solve our problems in order to resist the external threats. Thank you. Individual. Because you may come from poor parents and make it rich, you may come from rich parents and be poor, doesn't matter. It's your personal situation that you count, and then we'll get rid of the caste system if we were to do that. Secondly, the Akhand Bharat, I'm against that Akhand Bharat idea.